This is the first in a series of content about playing Guild Wars 2 for free. In this video, we will only be taking a look at the initial steps of account and character creation. What you are looking at is the page you will be directed to if you follow the link in the description. Alternatively, you can search Guild Wars 2 in Google and select the Play for Free link from the main website, and you will also end up at this page. Next, we need to enter our account details. You need to use an active email address as you will need to validate your account. The email and password you choose here is what you will use to log into the game. The last box is your display name. This is the name that links all of the characters on your account. It can be seen by your friends and guildmates, and this will be the name that you post on the forum. If they really want to, however, it can be found by anyone, so you might not want to use your real name if that bothers you. The last 4 digits is a random number that you can't choose. Picking a new name generates a new number, but you will return back to the same number if you re-enter a previously typed in name. Anything typed in chat will be displayed as coming from the character name that you are playing, not your display name. So, with that done, choose your mailing preference and hit the sign up button and go through the obligatory validation process and start downloading the client. How long it takes to download will depend on so many factors, but don't be put off. I promise this will be the only time you're waiting a substantial amount of time to play Guild Wars 2. Unlike so many other games that have this as an almost weekly process, waiting for long patches to update after annoyingly long downtime where you can't even get into the game at all. Once we have the client downloaded, it's time to log in, and the first thing you will be confronted with is the homeworld selection screen. If you know someone already playing Guild Wars 2, you may want to choose the same as them. You may choose by time zone or language. The only real choice is NA or Europe, as they are different regions and you won't be able to play in the same maps as people from the one you didn't choose. Don't sweat about what you choose here too much though. Guild Wars works as a mega server. Everyone in the same region can play together in the same maps. You won't be isolated to only playing on yours. The only time server matters is World vs World, which you cannot play until level 60 in free to play. Plus, you're playing for free. If you do decide to purchase the game, you can change for free upon upgrade, or it's really not hard to just start over on a server you do prefer at a later date on a new free account. Once we have chosen our server, we will be booted back out of the game and have to log back in again onto the server for which we have chosen. This time, upon logging in, we will start creating our first character. Your first choice is what race you would like to play. You can choose between Char, Human, Norn, Azure, or Sylvari. Each have their own starting areas spread wide across the map and different initial storylines to follow. Mostly it's mainly just aesthetics, so feel free to delete and recreate your tunes to get a feel for what you like to play. Next is a simple boy-girl choice. Then we move on to class. We do have the generic type armor choices and 3 of each set to choose from. For heavy, we have Warrior, Guardian or Revenant, although you can only play Rev if you purchase the Heart of Thorns expansion. For medium armor, we have Ranger, Thief or Engineer. And lastly, for light we have Necromancer, Elementalist or Mesmer. What is far from generic is the way those classes play. Casters can get in there and tank while you may have the heavy class doing the healing. Guild Wars 2 is not like any other MMO. We are not choosing a defined role in picking a class. You can check YouTube for many guides on how to play each of them, but the only way to know for sure is to get in there and give them a try for yourself. Personally, I have at least one of each fully leveled, with elite skills unlocked, but my favourite at the moment and my choice for this guide is the Necromancer. As you can see here, we have all the normal options to go through to customise on how you want your character to look, followed by a few options that will decide how your initial starting story will play out. There really aren't any bad choices to be made here, so don't be overly concerned with what you choose. Although the choices you make as you play through your personal story will affect the different paths your main quest will follow, the end goal for all of them are the same, so you will not be disadvantaged by your choices, which I remember being a little concern I had at the start. Lastly, we pick our name and are greeted with our first introduction of how we as a character are integrated into the storyline. Sit back and enjoy the cinematic, and I will see you in the next video where we'll be discussing a few basic gameplay choices and leveling to level 10.
The human race once ruled Tyria. Now, we struggle to hold our ground. We've been defeated, driven back, and broken. But we will not surrender. So many nations have fallen. Only Kryta still stands. Our faith is strong, despite the silence of the six gods. With courage, we'll make our stand in Divinity's reach. The city is my home. I was born to common folk, just one among many. My friends and I don't seek attention or glory. It's hard enough making ends meet. But I believe we can still shape a brighter world out of the ashes of the past. Today, I stepped outside of Divinity's reach to see the world. But when I arrived in Shaymore, the town was under siege by centaurs. Innocent villagers are in danger. Someone has to help. We can't go on living our lives in fear. I have to fight. I have to make a stand. This is my story.